was a woman who was designed by God and equipped by God to help a male fulfill the assignment that God put in his life to do.
Jezebel, Delilah, you not none of them. You submitted to your husband, you not running him. And if you don't have a husband, you not covetous. All them other girls they got, so you don't run with them. This one right here for the daughters. You modest with the fashion, we adore you. Head right, looking so royal. You read and live the word, we applaud you.
Did he say your head wrap and looking so royal? I think that's what the brother said. Your head is wrapped and looking so royal. What happened to that? Huh? What happened to that? Shalawam, shalawam, shalawam. Let's give all praises be to the Most High Yahawah once again. All praises be to the Most High Yahawah, his only begotten son, our brother, our friend, Hamashiach Yahawah Shai. Shalawam to all the ox out there, the brethren, all the aqua, or the Akiyam and the Ahchwathyam and the sisters. Shalawam to everybody. Kwam Yasharala. As you can see, the title of today, the message of today, the thumbnail of today, right? But before we get started, you see the background, the Shema Yashra Allah Yahawah Allah Hayanawa Yahawah Akkad, right? Give me 1 second before we get started. Give me 1 second. Salakia. Once again, let's give all praises again to the Most High Yahawah, our Father, Abanawa, called Halal Yahawah, Ba Shama Mashiach Yahawah Shai. Once again, for the water for those that tune in, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, share button. If you joining in, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, and share to get this message out and edify one another. As you know me, I like to dive right into the scriptures, so we're going to dive right into it. I'm not going to hold you. Hope everybody having a Barak day, and enjoying their time of the day. Let's go into the Revelation chapter 17, verse 5. That's what I want to read. Revelation 17 and 5, right? And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. Now, if you've seen the thumbnail, you clicked on it, in the background of that thumbnail, you can kind of see what? You can kind of see like the American flag in there. You can kind of see some bits and pieces of, the woman face and her eyes and the things like that, about this harlot, right? It's a spirit. It's a real natural woman, and then it's also a spirit, and I want you guys to know that we're dealing with a spirit. This is a harlot or harlotry spirit that jumps on our sisters and gets them to turn and work for Hasatan, and the mother of the harlots is right here, right now at this time in America. That's why I said this, Mystery Babylon. I'm going to show it one more time on the screen. Let me pull it again. Revelation 17 and 5. And it says right here, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon. Why is it a mystery? Because we're in it right now at this day. Back then it was a mystery. It's not so much of a mystery now because it's been revealed to us that this is what you would call Babylon, the so-called United States of America today. That's what Babylon is, right? It's not a mystery to you. If it's a mystery still to you, it's because it's hidden to you, right? It hasn't been revealed to you, but it's not a mystery to most of the world today that this right here, America's Mystery Babylon the Great. And it says the mother of harlots. the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken. This woman was drunk with the blood of who? The saints, the children of Israel, the Most High chosen people. But this country, this nation, Babylon, as it says, they're drunk off the blood of the saints. When you think about all of the bloodshed that has happened here in America, when you think about all the rape, rob, murder, pillage, all of our ancestors that are in the oceans, all of our ancestors that were burned, lynched on the tree, uh, set on fire, hung for picnics, babies fed to alligators. I mean, when you think about all of the things that happen here within this so-called nation as they do now, America, all of the blood, this is why it says that this woman, this nation, and as you can see, woman, what was given to America and what does everybody go see these days? If you into that type of thing, people go to New York to see who? The Statue of Liberty, right? And it's a woman. It's a woman holding up what? That light. But for those who know and do their research, it was originally supposed to be chains. And why was it supposed to be chains? Because it was showing breaking the what? Breaking that slavery that they had done. Shalawam, Brother John. Shalawam. All praises to the Most High. Yahawah call Allah Yahawah by Shama Mashiach Yahushai. Barakatah. But yeah, that Statue of Liberty, man, it was supposed to be showing the chains and it was supposed to be breaking, or broke. Showing that slavery that they had us under. But they didn't want to show that, so they took the chains, and the guy from France, they gave him the actual Statue of Liberty. He said he wanted it back because they didn't leave it the way it was supposed to be. He said the only way you guys could keep it is if you use those chains that I had. So if you really look into it and you do the research, the chains that were broken or the chains that was supposed to be symbolic, they put it at the feet of the Statue of Liberty. They put it at the feet. So the chains are actually at the feet, but nobody is going to really see that unless you kind of go and look, or you could do the research and pull it up. But, anyway, this is the mystery Babylon, the mother of harlots, and America is full of abominations. And it says, I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and the blood of the martyrs of who? Yahweh Shai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration, right? And the Malak said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? Why tell thee the mystery of the woman and the beast that carry her, which have 7 heads and 10 horns, right? Talking about kingdoms and things like that. I don't really want to get into that. I just want to stay on point with the, being a harlot and the mother of harlots in this place of America. The reason I say America is because I say North America, South America, but when you go to the other side of the world, it's kind of different over there. I won't say women don't have that same type of freedom over there that they do here within like North America and South America, where they can just do things so freely. It's more of a different kind of culture over there. But here in America, which is the mother of, of harlots and Babylon the Great, you can run wild here. You can do anything you want, But I was just speaking about that spirit of harlots, right? And how it has destroyed our people, the children of Israel, even before they was the children of Israel, all the way back to Adam, how it has destroyed us because Adam had listened to who? The woman. The woman listened to the serpent, right? And through that man, Adam, he fell. And it's been like that since the beginning of time. Let's get a few more real quick. Let me jump over. Genesis. Let's go to Genesis real quick, chapter 31. Genesis 31. And I'm going to jump down. For those who know this is the classic Genesis 31, and maybe I wanted 21. Let me see. Hold on, Salakia. Genesis 38. Yeah. And see, this is the whole problem right here, is that Judah and Tamar, right? And it says, and when Judah saw her, he thought her to be what? A harlot. So this is Judah from the 12 tribes of Judah, our forefather, right? And of course, we know, if you read this story, his wife had passed away. He was going to take care of some business, him and a friend of his. So he's on a journey. And on this journey, he sees a woman standing there. And when he saw the woman, he said he thought to be a harlot because she had covered her face. So we see here that when women were harlots or prostitutes, they covered their face in this time. Why? Because it was a shameful thing. Or they was just trying to conceal themselves because they didn't want everybody to know that they were prostitutes. It's not like today for those that are from it don't matter what city you in, I guess, because every city got a hostro. So it's not like how in today where you go down the hostro and they just out there showing everything, their faces, their bodies, they everything. You know who that woman is. If you seen her in the grocery store, you can be like, oh, she was on the hostro. But back here, we see that she had her face covered, right? And he turned unto her by the way and said, go to, I pray thee, let me come into thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. See, Judah was so filled with this lust, right, when he saw this harlot, that he didn't even pay attention to see that this was his daughter-in-law, that he's finna fall into sin because the lust is so great within him of this harlot, right? Now, she used this to her advantage because she knew something about Judah. Why would she take herself? Because this is, his daughter-in-law. Why would she take off her other clothing, right? Put on her harlot clothing, and then go out to meet her father-in-law. And she said, wilt thou give me that thou mayest come into me? So now they kind of going back and forth about a price, if you would say a price, like they want a price, right? She like, what you gonna give me? Verse 17, and he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, wilt thou give me a pledge to thy send the kid, or to thou send it? So she wants a pledge. And he said, what pledge shall I give thee? And she said, thy signet and thy bracelet and thy staff in thy hand. And he gave it her. So look how she broke it down. She want his signet, she want his bracelet, and then she want his staff. For a man back then, his staff, that was that was like your honor right there almost. Like that was a great thing to have. And for you to give it to not only just a woman, but a harlot for a pledge, shows you how much that he really wanted to lay with this woman, right? And it says, and he gave it her, and came unto her, and she conceived by him. And she arose and went away, and laid by her veil from her, and put on the garments of what? Her widowhood, because remember, she was married to his son. That's how his daughter-in-law. He was married, but the son is gone, and the other son that was supposed to have a kid by her, he spilled seed, so she was waiting on the last youngest son, right? So for all those that know this story, we know what happened. And let me jump down. Let me see. Let me jump down real quick. I want to jump down to where I actually want this verse right here, right? Because they was finna bring her, and they was gonna set her on fire because she was, basically like this. Verse 24, I read Genesis 38 and 24. And it came to pass about 3 months after that it was told Judah, saying, Tamar, thy daughter-in-law, had played the harlot, and also, behold, she is with child by whoredom, right? And Judah said, bring her forth. Bring her forth. He was ready to, like, let's get at her. She been out there playing the whore, being a harlot, being a prostitute. This was a big thing in Israel. This was a big thing for the children of Israel. You know, our daughters were not to be prostitutes, whores, living in whoredom. They wasn't supposed to be any of these things, right? Our women were held to a very high statute. So he said, bring her forth and let her be burnt. You see that? They was going to burn her alive. They wasn't going to kill her first. They was going to burn her. And then it says in 25, when she was brought forth, she said to her father-in-law, saying, by the man whose these are, I am with child. So whatever man she was pregnant by, she said, these things that I have, this is who I'm pregnant by. And she said, discern, I pray thee. So she's asking him, please discern the things that I have that I'm going to show you. Discern who things these are, and whoever these things are, this is who I'm pregnant by. Right? Whose are these? And it says the signet, the bracelet, and the staff. Well, we know because we just read it that it was Judah's. And what did Judah say in verse 26? And Judah acknowledged him and said, she have been what? More righteous than I, because that I gave her not to Shelah, my son. And he knew her again no more. So that woman, even though she played the harlot in that fashion, Judah said she was more righteous. Why? Because he didn't do what he said he was going to do as a man. So she had to stoop down to a certain level to get something done. This is why Judah said that she was more righteous than he was. Because if he was doing what was righteous, he would have never fell into that. He would have never been with a harlot, and he never would have slept with his daughter-in-law. But unfortunately, he wasn't more righteous than she was, right? That's what's being said. Let me get another one real quick. Shalawam to anybody tuning in, all the brothers and aquas tuning in. Shalawam to Water for tuning in. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button so we can continue to edify and get this message out, right? This is the book of Sirach in the 1611 King James Version Bible. If you do not have you a 1611 King James Version Bible, you need to order you one. You can get you one online, Amazon. I think they're about $15, something like that, $20. They're not very much. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25. And I'm going to jump down to verse 21, right? Verse 21. And it says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman. Why all throughout the Bible it tells us this? Huh? Does anybody ever notice that? All throughout the Bible, the whole Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, it tells us about the beauty of a woman and how don't let it take advantage of you. Don't let it take a hold of you. Don't let lust come upon you and draw you down and break you down to a piece of bread, or put the bands or chains around your hands and your ankles. Even right here in the book of Sirach, it's saying, stumble not, meaning don't fall, don't slip, don't trip. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman. So when you're dealing with a harlot, what's the first thing you notice about most of the time? We're not talking about back in the day, okay? We're not talking about Strawberry Hill. We're not talking about in the 80s when they was free basing. You know, we're not talking about the $2 harlot, you know, on the rock. We're not talking about that, okay? I'm talking about the regular harlot, you know, most of the time, the majority, I would say probably about 85% to 75% of the time, you talking about a very beautiful and attractive young woman, right? That that leads you into this to where you almost stumbling and falling into this sin, right? That you're about to commit with this harlot, right? And this is why it says right here, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for what? Pleasure. When you go to a harlot, you looking for a beautiful woman and you're desiring her for what? Pleasure. That's the whole reason you go to a harlot. And remember, it said this is Mystery Babylon, the mother of all harlots. So if this is Mystery Babylon in America that we living in, right? And it's the mother of harlots. How should we live and how should we walk here in America, North America, South America, in the world, period? How should we walk? And this is what we have to ask ourselves, you know, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger. Why is she full of anger? If she's with her husband or her man, why is she full of anger? Why is there so much hatred and built up of anger inside of her when she has a husband? You know, we have to ask ourselves these questions on why these things. If a man was created and then the woman is supposed to be his helpmate, if the woman is supposed to be his helpmate, right, which is supposed to be, why is there so much friction going on where women don't want to be subject or submit themselves to the man, but they have no problem being a harlot and running around out here in the world and sleeping with this man and with that man? You know, unfortunately, we know today how it is 2000 in 2025. You know, of course, we know how it is that majority of people today are not virgins, right? As they should be. They should be virgins, but they're not, you know, but that it is what it is. But that doesn't mean that we can't teach our sons and we can't teach our daughters the right way. Just because we didn't grow up the right way doesn't mean that we can't teach our children the right way, right? Let me get the definition for those, you know, of course people should know, but let me just show what's the definition of what a harlot is, right? Since we speaking about a harlot, right?
Harlot.
What is a harlot? A prostitute. Now, when you think about a prostitute, you think about, like I said, maybe a bad looking woman using drugs, all beat up, beat down, you know, bad on her luck. But that's not the case all the time. Because nowadays, you know, necessarily a harlot doesn't have to be standing on the corner. A harlot doesn't have to be on drugs, you know. Nowadays, you have all different type. Well, I can't even say because there's nothing new under the sun. Let me correct that. There's nothing new under the sun. You always had different types. So you have different platforms for different types of prostitutes. We'll say that, right? And then it says, what does a harlot mean in biblical, right? And it says a woman who gives sex to man for money. Now, like I said, this has been going on since the beginning of time, right? So in order for this to happen, in order for this to be a growing thing, in order for women to want to do this, they need one thing. The one thing they need is what? Men, and not the money, so to say, because they can get money, you know, and money is almost secondary, but they need the what? The man. Why do they need the man? You would think that a woman that does this, whether you believe it or not, even though most of them have pimps and things like that, when that woman goes with that guy, which is, called a trick, when that woman goes with that guy and he's a trick, she actually feels empowered over him. And he's belittled as a man to what? A trick, as they call it, a piece of bread, nothing. And in so doing, he shows his, how can I say this? He shows his lust for women and his fetish for women now in front of this woman. So all of these desires, all of these little things that he has bottled up inside of him, in his head, right, in his mind, whatever has been going on in his mind, now he's able to release these things unto this woman that he's paying for, right? And she's going to do these acts and be okay with these acts. But deep down inside, I'm not saying she cares, she don't care about this man, but deep down inside, she knows that she has what? At this particular time, whether it's 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes or an hour, however long he's paying this woman for, she has total domination and control over this man because he's almost in a fantasy world to where he's living out whatever it is his fantasy is at this moment. It's a reason why he picked this woman. The way she looked, the way she talked, the way she smelled, or her color hair. It was something about that particular harlot prostitute that attracted that man. Just like how a man picks his woman or to be his wife and things like that. But in a different circumstance, because why? A man doesn't want his wife to be a harlot or a prostitute. So he's looking for more of a wholesome type thing, right? But when he's looking on a corner, or he's looking on these websites, or he's looking on what these kids call it today, what they call it, goodness gracious. Something these kids, well, I can't even say, people go on today, and I'm not talking about porn, I'm talking about where you can go on live and see them. I don't know the name of it. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about out there in the world. He's living in this fantasy, like I say, and this woman has complete dominant control over him. So you think about if you living in America, right? In America is Babylon, and that place is considered the mother of harlots, right? And her cup is full of abominations, which are things that go against the Most High. And then you have people in America doing these things, and this harlot is over them. This mother of harlot, she has what? Complete domination over those people that are in that nation of Babylon. Just like that woman has complete control over that man at that particular time when he's getting ready to pay for whatever it is he wants, whether it be sexual, sexting, or whatever thing he wants. That woman has control because after he pays her, or they get started, or something happens and she says, you know what? Never mind. Stop this. I want out. He's upset. Why is he upset? Because it did not happen, or he didn't get what he thought he was going to get, and he's let down. So that's where the power and the manipulation comes in. So it's not only a woman that gives sex for money, but it's a power and manipulation behind it, that she knows that she can manipulate a man. And that's with any woman. I mean, let's be honest. That's with any woman today. That's why they wear certain things to get men attention, whether it be leggings, long dresses, tight dresses, shorts, the hair, the nails, the makeup, the perfume. Why do you think they go to Victoria's Secret and buy all that spray for $60 and $70? Or body bath or whatever, body works, whatever that place is called. And all of this stuff that they put on for us as men to get that attraction, right? And I'm not saying all women are Harleys, but let's be honest. In today's time, can you pick out the difference a woman today in 2025 who is a harlot and who is not, who is a prostitute and who is not, a woman who gives sex for money and who is not? I mean, can you really pick the difference out right now? Because you could go on social media on anyone, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and all you see is women half naked. And everybody is, as they say, sliding in each other's DM, trying to do what? Have sex. And the women want what? Money. They want to be flown out. They want to go shopping. They want to eat, at certain places. They want certain clothes. They want a certain look. Everything is, about money. That's a prostitute. That's a harlot. That's why you're able to do these things right here in America, because this is Babylon. And somebody out there might say, well, I do that wherever I am, Dubai, or you could do it around the world. If you have the means to do it, you could be a harlot or you could be a whoremonger for men anywhere. Like they always say, you can move out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of that person. If you a whore, you gonna be a whore anywhere. If you go to Dubai, you still gonna be a hoe. And if you a whoremonger for men, it doesn't matter if you here, if you in Atlanta, if you in Dubai, if you in Saudi Arabia, you still gonna be a whoremonger. It's the same thing. Let's see what it says. What does harlotry mean? It says harlotry is an old-fashioned, disapproving term that refers to what? Prostitution, sexual activities for money. Sexual activities for money. That's what this is. And it's a lot of this going on. The reason I want to speak about this, because there's a lot of this going on in Israel right now. A lot of this. And we have to think about the spirit that comes with it. It's a spirit that comes with this that tears down. And you can look from all of the men that is tore down. Famous men, big men, from even in the Bible. Look, I just read about Judah. Look at the shame it brought about him. Who else? David with Bathsheba. Look what it brought about him. When we read the book of Susanna, look what happened with them elders. They were so into lust. They fell into that lust of looking at the beauty of a woman and desiring her for what? Pleasure. The same thing the book of Sirach just told us not to do. Right? And I mean, we can go on and on and on. And then who was the other one? Jezebel, when she was in there painting her face, leading who? The prophets of the Most High away, putting them down, putting them away, So this is something that's been going on since the beginning. So we have to understand that spirit of a harlot, that spirit of prostitution that's going on, and we have to discern between the two, We can't continue to allow for this to go on within us as a nation of people. And I say us. I'm no better than nobody else out there, no greater than nobody else, but I'm saying us, especially for the men that come into the truth, man. And when you start to understand this thing about what's up, what we up against, when we start to understand what we up against and what we fighting against, it's important that we teach our sons and our daughters this spirit that has jumped on us as a nation to tear us down. It's just Satan. That's all it is. Let me get another scripture real quick in the book of Leviticus. Let me go here real quick, if I can. I'm in Genesis. Let me get this one real quick. Okay, this is in the book of Leviticus, the Torah, right? And it says, I'm going to go start at verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, Ye shall be holy. So we're supposed to be a holy people. Why? Why are we supposed to be a holy and set apart people? It says, For I, Yahweh, your Allah, am holy. So that's why we're supposed to be holy, because we follow who? Yahweh, our Father, and He is holy. So if He is righteous, He's telling us, since we are a part of Him and He put His Spirit inside of us and chose us as His chosen people, that He said that what? We should be holy. We have to be. We should be. You should want to be holy, right? Let me jump down real quick and get what I wanted right here. You see. Give me 1 second, Salakia. I was looking for it in Leviticus 19. Salakia, it should be right here. Oh, here it is right here. Salakia, Leviticus 19, verse 29. It says, Do not prostitute thy daughter. So us as Israelite men, and especially our women, when it comes to our daughters out here, we should not prostitute our daughters, right? We should not let our daughters become what? Harlots. And in the beginning of that song, when I stopped it, it said, with their head wrap looking so royal. See, at a point in time, our women were as royalty and they were treated as such and handled as such. But now we have come so far away from the law and away from the commandments of the Most High that now our daughters, mothers, grandmothers, aunties, they all have became what? Prostitutes. They all have became prostitutes. They all are laying down for money in some type of way, form, fashion. That's what is going on, because that's how the world has made things to be right now. But like I said, it's nothing new under the sun. But when we lived in our own kingdom, when we had our own land, it wasn't necessarily like that. But anytime we go amongst these other people in these other nations, that's how they live. That's why the Most High told us in the book of Leviticus chapter 18 not to do the things that those other people do where you go to live. In Leviticus 19 and 29, it tells us, do not prostitute thy daughter, to cause her to be what? A whore. We are not supposed to let our daughters become whores. But you know why our daughters are becoming whores or are whores out here in this world? It's because the men are not standing up and being man. And they're not teaching their daughters the ways of the Most High. So it all starts with the man. We're gonna come right back to this. Let me get this real quick. 1 Corinthians, right? So it all starts with the man. So Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1, Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Hamashiach. Now I praise you, Salakia. Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things and keep the ordinances, right? As I delivered them unto you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach. So we have a head. Salakia. We have a head. So my head is who? Hamashiach. That's who my head is. And it says, and the head of the woman is who? The man. So the woman needs a man. I know today, and they've been saying it for a long time, that I don't need no man. I don't need no man. Well, the Bible says that you need a man, right? Adam was created. They took the rib out and formed woman. And that's why you have the name one man, because you come from a man, right? So you need a man. And I'm not making it seem like, oh, you need him to do anything with your life. What I'm saying is to be complete the way the Most High created us, to be complete as we should be, it says right here, and the head of the woman is the man. We all have a head. You get what I mean? The woman head is the man, but the man head is Hamashiach. And look at this. Don't be mad. You know, if you're a woman and looking at this, don't be mad because even Hamashiach has a head. So we all have somebody over us. Even Hamashiach has somebody over him. And the head of Hamashiach is the Most High, his father. So we all have somebody over us. I'm a man, Hamashiach is over me. A woman, the man who she decides to be with and marry, he's over her, right? And Hamashiach, who is over him, who is head over him? The Father. So we all have somebody that's head over us. So like I said, first it starts with the man being what? A dad, a father, to teach not only their sons, but teach their daughters, which is most important because the daughters are who what? Who give life. The daughters are who going to teach the children. If your daughter's a whore or a prostitute, when she goes out and she's with a man and she gets pregnant and she has children, what is she gonna teach those children? Salaki, how is she gonna raise those children if she's a prostitute, if she's a whore? If she's lived in whoredom and she's jumped from man to man to man and she's did this and she's did that, how is she going to raise her children? And remember, each time you lay down with somebody, you bringing a part of their spirit upon you. And you don't know what type of spirit these people out here have. So this is why the Most High commanded us in the book of Leviticus chapter 29 not to what? Prostitute thy daughter, to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom. What land? Well, that's why we're in Babylon. That's exactly why I started off in Revelation 17 and 5, because what? We're in Mystery Babylon, where you could be what? Where the mother of harlots is. And the land has been turned to what? Whoredom. Everybody in America, whether it's South America or North America, is running wild, rampant in whoredom. It's very rampant. It's even more rampant in I would say in South America than it is in North America, but it's still there. It's you can't even say one after the other, man. It's just rampant. And the whole land has fell into this. And we're commanded not to take part in these type of things. So I just wanted to show that in the book of Leviticus that we're not supposed to be in these things, and the reason I like that is because, let me get this real quick. In the book of Hebrews, we see that our brother, our friend, Hamashiach, right? He had went through all these things. He has been tempted in everything. It says in verse 14, seeing then that we have a great high priest, not a regular high priest, but a great high priest that is passed into the Shemayim, Yahawah, the Son of the Most High. Let us hold fast our profession. For we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our what? Infirmities. So he understands because he's been through these things too. And it lets us notice in verse 15, but was in all points tempted like as we are. So there's nothing that we go through. And this is a beautiful scripture right here because it lets us know it's nothing that we go through that he didn't go through. And he was tempted in all ways. And it says, yet without sin. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Mary, not, of course, not his mother Mary, but Mary Magdalene, wasn't she a prostitute? You know? Now, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, maybe she was a very beautiful woman. In order to do that, I mean, I would think that you would have to be somewhat of a beautiful woman, nice figured woman. You know, that was her way of making a living, you know. But as you can see, when she came to Yahawashi, she left all that. When she came to the truth, she left all that, you know. But as her being a beautiful woman, that doesn't mean that Yahawashi wasn't tempted. But we know it says right here, but in all points tempted like as we are, right? So to look on her, not lust, but to look on her, say, man, that's a beautiful woman. But not lust after her, right? Not to stumble at her what? Beauty, as the book of Ecclesiasticus said. And not to want her for what? Pleasure. See, it's okay to look at a woman and say she's a beautiful woman, but not to lust after that woman. That's where we got to take a step back at, right? Like here, let me see. What verse is that? Let me see. Is that James? Let me see. Hold on. Salakia. I'm going to get this one first. So it says in John, 1 John 2:15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So if you love the things of this world, and we know harlots are in this world, right? For all that is in the world is what? The lust of the flesh. So everything that's in this world that we see is the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes. The first thing that comes about is the lust of the flesh when you see a harlot. The second thing that comes about is the lust after the eyes, because you say, man, you thought you seen that, but let me get a closer look. Now you try to get a closer look. You really want to get up on her and kind of see, is she that thick? Is she that, you know, or even for the woman, did he kind of look like that, you know? And it says the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the what? World. Right? And we have to realize this, that when you go into these things, let me get this one, Proverbs. When you go into these things, what you dealing with, the spirit of a harlot, you know, and what you allowing and what you are allowing to come upon yourself. It says the wiles of a harlot. My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thy eye. That's very important, you know, especially when it comes to your children. That's why I say, you know, with your children, man, you know, it really hurts at times because, you know, you want them to do right, just like the Most High wanted us to do right. And sometimes it just doesn't work like that, you know. But one thing the Most High said is just, you know, train up a child in the way they should go, and in the end they shall not depart, you know. So let's keep reading. It says, bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thy heart. Verse 4, say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from who? The strange woman. That it will keep you from the strange woman, from the stranger which flatters with her words. Yeah, you know how they be out there waving, hey. You know how them harlots and them prostitutes are, right? You have to understand this, that a harlot is a destruction to the children of Israel or the men of Israel. I want you to understand that, you know. When you look at that word harlot in the Hebrew, it shows that that's a weapon against the children, against the descendants of Israel. It's an actual weapon formed against us. Kind of like when Balaam told Balak, to send them women, right? If you send them strange women or them harlot women down there to the children of Israel, the men of Israel, it'll make them go off, right? It's the same thing. For at the window of my house I looked through my encasement and beheld among the simple ones. I discern among the youths a young man void of understanding. That's what they're looking for. Somebody who's void of understanding. Just because you grown and just because you 30 years old, 40 years old, don't mean that you truly have understanding. Passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way of her house in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. And behold, there met him a woman with an attire of a harlot. What kind of attire she had on? A harlot. Look at this.
Strong's H 2181. Zana.
Zana. So when you go into it and you look at this word right here in the Hebrew, that's Zah, right? Which means a weapon. This right here, if you can see it, I know the arrow keep moving. That letter right there is what you would call Na, right? That's why you see the Na right here, right? So this is Zah. That's where you get the Z-A. This letter is Na, which means offspring of descendants, right? And this word is Ha, which means to behold, the window. So Zah, and if you know what A is what? Alaf, right, is the leadership or the ox head in strength, which represents the father. So this is of Zah, which is the Z, is a weapon against who? The descendants or the children of the father or the offspring. And he's trying to tell you, to look out that window and behold. You better look and see what's really going on. That's why it's important to go into this Hebrew. Let me see. I was trying to see if the word right here. Yeah. See, you can see it right here. Zanah. And that's why it's important to go into the Hebrew so you can look at these letters and this word to kind of know what it really means. Yeah, I know it speaks about whoredom and idolatry. I mean, not idolatry, but adultery and things like that. It says usually of a female, right? But this is why the Most High always attributed, going whoring after like a woman or committing fornication, or being a harlot, and that's why he always told us the children of Israel did what? They played the harlot or they went to go whoring, to serve what? Other gods. So when you get a chance, man, anybody who's looking at this, look into this, especially this word right here.
Strong's H 2181. Zana.
And that's deep, because it's going against the children of Israel. It's a weapon formed against us. You have to understand. Let me get this real quick in Deuteronomy. You have to understand, this is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. And it says, For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy Allah. Yahweh thy Allah hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. You have to understand that, people know this, that the Most High has chosen you as the children of Israel. They know this. They realize this. And they don't care what it takes to destroy his children. They'll do whatever it takes to destroy his children. If you read the book of Solomon, Wisdom of Solomon, let me see. Hold on. Let me stop sharing my screen. Let me go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon real quick. Let me see. I'm not sure what verse it is, but we're going to check it out. We here together, Let me go to the Wisdom of Solomon. This is chapter 2, but I'm not sure what verse it is. But we're going to go together. Let me see. And it speaks about the righteous people. It speaks about let our strength be the law, therefore let us wait. He is not for us. He is not for our turn. And here it is. Let's read a little bit of this real quick. Some of this. This is the evil people, right? That know that they're not the chosen people. And it says, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in you. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ornaments, and let no flower of the spring pass by. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. For this is our portion and our lot. Salakia. This is our portion and our lot in this. So they know that this is their portion. So they don't mind doing whatever they have to do and pushing the agenda to put all this idolatry, and all of these things, all of these harlotry, the harlots and the prostitution and all of this stuff that they pushing on social media, they pushing all on the TV, they pushing everywhere. Why? Because they are trying to destroy the Most High's children, and they know that. Verse 10, it says, let us oppress the poor, righteous man. Who is the righteous man? The children of Israel. He is the righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs or the aged. No, they don't. This is why in Mystery Babylon you have to work to pretty much till you die unless you're rich. And then when you can't work no more, you get on what? SSI, or you get on disability because your back messed up, your leg messed up, you can't even walk no more, piss no more, and then you end up croaking. And then half of the time, people don't even have enough money to be buried. So they just cremate you. This place don't care. And then verse 11 says, let our strength be the law of justice. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. See, they know. That's what I'm saying. They know. The ones that are righteous, the Most High children, the saints, these people, all these other nations of the earth, of the world, they said that what? He is not for our turn, and he is clean, contrary to our doings. Meaning the things that these people do is contrary to what the Most High tells his children, the children of Israel, to do. Right? He upbraided us with our offending the law and objective to our infamy, the transgressions of our education. He professes to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of Yahweh, or the son of Yahweh. He was made to prove our thoughts. That's why he was made, to prove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us. Listen to what they say. He is grievous unto us, even to behold. For his life is not like another man's. His ways are of another what? Fashion. This is why what I read earlier, 1 John 2 and 15, love not the world of the things that are in it. Any man that love the world, love not the Father. Right? How do we know that we love the Most High? How do Hamashiach say? By keeping his commandments. So this is why I say these other people, they know what time it is. It says we are esteemed of him as what? Counterfeits. These people in this world, in Mystery Babylon, the mother of harlots, these people that you see walking around, the counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from what? Filthiness. Yeah. So he's not running around, any man that's walking with the Most High or woman walking with the Most High, they're not running around with harlots. They're not running around with prostitutes. They're not. Because they know that that's what? Filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed and maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father. Yeah, that's what we boast in. That's what we boast in. Anybody who believes on Yahweh, that's what we boast in. Anybody who believes on Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, that's what we boast in. We boast in our Abanawa, Yahweh, right? As I started off this whole thing, when I first started off, I said what? Shemai, Yashra Allah, Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, right? That's who we boast in, the Father. Then it says in verse 17, let us see if his words be true. So these people in this world that we live in, they said, let us see if his words be true. And let us prove what shall happen in the end of them. For if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. So we have enemies. We already know that. That's in the book of Psalms 83. For those, we know we got enemies out here. Who is our enemies? Edom. That's the biggest one, right? Ishmael, Moab, right? Ammon. We got enemies out here. But it's important for you to read the Bible to get to know these things and continue to read, continue to study, continue to edify, continue to study to show yourself approved, And as Peter said, be ready to give an answer of your faith, And I'm not saying you might have an answer for everything, but you could definitely give an answer on why you have the faith that you have and why you believe what it is that you believe. You definitely could do that. I know you could do that. Right? And it says, let me see where we at. Verse 19. Let us examine him with the despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. Such things they did imagine. This is what these people in this world imagine about not only Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, but us. And were deceived, for their own wickedness had blinded them. Right? In mystery Babylon, they have been blinded. As for the mysteries of the Most High, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness, nor discern a reward for blameless souls. For the Most High created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through what? Envy. That's what I mean. So that was Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 24, because they envy Deuteronomy 7 and 6, that the children of Israel are a special people above all people that are on the face of the earth. So they don't mind turning our daughters, They don't mind turning our daughters, our mothers, our sisters, our aunties, our cousins into what? Harlots and prostitutes. Even though the book of Leviticus 19 and 29 said, don't prostitute thy daughter, right? Even though it says that. This is why they push that agenda of the Carly B's and whoever else is out there, Sexy Red, whoever else is out there just being perverted. It says, nevertheless, through envy of the devil. So who was envious is truly the devil. It's truly Hasatan. Came deaf into the world. And they that do hold his side do find it. You know? And what it's talking about basically is if you're not following the Most High, you chose death. And I ain't talking about the death that you go through when you leave this body. I'm talking about the real death. And all those other nations of people, that's what they chose. They chose death because they said they want this world. Anytime you choose the things of this world, you choose death. This is why it's so important to let those things go of this world. Don't worry about those things. I know it'd be stressful. I'll be stressed out too, you know, but let it go. Give it to the Most High. Don't let them stress you out. It is what it is. You don't know if you're going to wake up tomorrow anyway. We don't know if we're going to be here or not. So just let it go, you know. That's all you can do. Just let it go. Well, I was going to go into some other things, but hopefully this was edifying for you in some type of way. You know, it's a little bit about, you know, the harlot, the prostitution that's out here in this world, you know, the things that's going on within the nation of our brothers. You know, we got to turn from those things, you know. We got to turn from those things. Let me get one more before I go out. And this is for any sisters that may be looking at this. I want you to notice when you see this. Let me get this real quick. Luke 17. And I'm going to get this in the NLT, New Living Translation. What is that? Okay. I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, all of a sudden it's tripping. So we'll see. But yeah, I wanted to get this last scripture out, but you know, it's spinning right now. But like I said, you know, right here, Deuteronomy 7:6 about the holy people, and that's what's most important, you know, that we are a holy people. So just remember that. Just remember that when you think about things, that we are a holy people and the Most High has chosen us. As it says in verse 7, Yahweh did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because you were more in number than any people. But he, you know, he chose us because, you know, he had made a vow to who? Our father Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you know, and that's just what it is. You know, he made a vow and a promise, and that's what he was going to do. You know, I'm not sure why my screen was messing up. So, Salaki about that. I could try it one more time. Let me see. Luke 17, verse 1. Then said he unto the disciples, it is impossible, but the offenses will come. Meaning what? Temptation, it will come. The temptation going to come, just like it says in Hebrew 4:15, that what? Hamashiach Yahawashi was tempted in every way. So don't worry about that. It's going to happen. The temptation going to come, but it says, but woe unto him through whom they come. So women and men, certain men out there, they don't realize when they tempt people and they do these things and they post these pictures, and if it leads somebody to stumble and to go astray and to fall into sin, if that man has trying to be living an upright life, or a woman has been trying to live an upright life, and then they fall into sin because some harlot or some prostitute was posting things, it's written right here that they're going to have to answer to that. That's why it says, woe unto them through whom they come. Verse 2, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck and he cast into the sea, than that he should offend one of these little ones. Verse 3, take heed to yourselves. If thy brother trespass against thee, rebuke him. And if he repent, forgive him. And that's what we got to remember. You know, we got to remember that. We got to remember that. Once again, like I say, the water for tuning in, all those for tuned in. I'll be back at it again real soon. Yeah, I think that. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think that's it. Like I say, I'll be back at it again real soon. Thank you for those that tuned in. I appreciate it. And I just want to say, call Harlots YAHAWAH, Shalawam Ahchyam Ahchwathyam. The water, once again, for everyone who tuned in, the water for the ox and the Ahchyam. And with that, I want to say, Kwam Yasharala and Shalawam.